Hello, everybody. I'm Jake, as you can see from my beautiful banner. And I have John and Dom with me tonight because they're the two. We decided to go for the sex appeal episode. So we got the three sexiest hosts that we could. So if you were already just like browsing porn, no need to switch off this panel. You can just finish up right here. How are you guys doing tonight?
Well, I'll say first of all, if this is our idea of sex appeal, man, I feel bad for these people.
Yeah. Well,
That's a rough go.
I don't know if that's legal for me, but I'm having a good night.
It is in Mexico, Dom. It's fine. Someone just go to Mexico to watch and finish here. Anyways, we have tonight not a good thing. Not good news for you. I'm sorry to inform you all that we have CheetoChickenFries in our possession.
Which I think this box is trying to have some sex appeal with these wonderful, what is it, flaming shades?
Oh God!
I don't know.
So horrible.
Yeah, they don't smell good. I don't want to say horrible. They smell like chicken nuggets that you get out of the freezer section. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I smell a little bit of like processed cheese substitute though.
I don't know if it has any cheese. Judging by the last experience we had with the Cheeto BK matchup thing, we had the mac and Cheetos last time, and that did not go well whatsoever. It was garbage. So I'm gonna try mine right now. I haven't really eaten in a long time, so we'll see what happens. So this is one chicken fry. It looks like a chicken fry. It's just a little orangey. I'm going to try it without any sauce, of course. And
It
we'll
has
see what happens.
absolutely no cheese type of smell to it. It just smells like a chicken fry.
You know what? It tastes like a chicken fry.
Well,
There's
that's
no reason to
disappointing.
purchase these.
These are just chicken fries.
These are little.
Yep.
These are chicken fries with a
They're-
little bit of orange food coloring.
They're
Yeah.
fine if you like chicken fries. Buy chicken fries. There's nothing to them. They're just chicken fries that are orange in color. I seriously taste nothing that tastes cheesy or powdered cheesy or Cheeto-y or anything. I just taste chicken fries.
Honestly, they should fry these and then toss them in that Cheeto dust and then call it a day.
Well,
Like, if your hands don't get orange from eating something with Cheetos on the name, then it's not a good go. It's not a good effort. Fuck you, Burger King. You know what? Because of this show, I've been to Burger King 3 more times this year than I have in the last 5. Because I don't visit Burger King.
well, the good thing is I don't mind chicken fries at all, and these just
Right.
taste like normal chicken fries. So I feel like I really don't have much to say other than I'm going to finish eating them. And
I'm
Probably
disappointed in you, Burger King. And that takes a lot because I expect nothing. So, yeah, this is total garbage. Also, I asked the pleasant young man behind the what is that called? The drive-through window to give me 2 different sauces. He gave me 2 ranches. That's not different. I think his name was Juan.
is one of them Southwestern style ranch?
No, they're the same. They're bullshit.
Uh,
I'm not a big fan of ranch. Anyway, so these suck.
Yeah, disappointing. I thought they would be like just powdery garbage, but they're really not.
I would love for them to be garbage because Cheetos are total garbage, but they're good because of that. There's no hydrogenated soybean oil. There's
I
no.
feel like the Whopperito was less of a letdown because man, that thing tasted like a gas fire.
A gas fire.
At least it had like some
I didn't-
sort of
yeah.
unappealing flavor. This
Isn't good. So Burger King has struck the fuck out on this show. Not a fan. Fuck you. Basically.
I want Taco Bell to get into a bunch of stunt foods again because their
Oh,
stuff's
man.
always fun as hell.
We could try the cheesy core things, but that's just a burrito.
Yeah.
You know? So not I don't know. If you like the food that we do here on the live show, of course you gotta watch Cooking with Jake. I've done 2 episodes so far. This Sunday we have the 3rd episode. So far I've done clam tacos, and I did an homage to the Chicago dog and the Philly cheesesteak mashed up into one. That one, I will say, I really liked the tacos because I try them all, obviously, when I cook them. I loved the Chicago dog mixed with Philly cheesesteak. I mean, that's straight up sports fuel right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was great. So, anyways, we're back. We're here. We got to talk about all the games that happened. Obviously, on the recorded show, we don't get to talk about the Sunday games yet. We get to preview them, and then we review them here. We will preview the Thursday game, though. And, man, a lot of injuries this week. A lot of people went down. Luckily, my team in fantasy overall unscathed for the most part. I had a really big scare with Brandon Marshall, though. I thought his career ended, but really, he just lost a drive. So that's okay. We also had, AP went down with a meniscus tear, which sounds worse than it actually is. You can play with a meniscus tear.
Yeah,
I would sit him for a week probably if I'm Minnesota, but I'm bringing him back as soon as I can get him to go.
Yeah, so the meniscus tear, I'm sure it hurt like hell when it happened. I had to have several meniscus tears repaired in both knees, and I played competitive level sports for years on them before I ended up having to even have them repaired. So that's an injury that's not necessarily going to keep him down for very long. I'm sure it hurt like hell. I mean, and you could see he had to be helped off the field. I'm sure it hurt like hell, when it happened, but it's not something that should keep him down long.
It's the medial collateral ligament, and it's at I want to say it's the front of the knee. So it really is just there. If your other ligaments are there, it should be fine, just painful. Like you still have you're structurally sound, and you have full range of motion. To my knowledge, I just hear that they suck. Kind of like a bone bruise, where you could play. It's not a big deal, but it's gonna suck the whole time. Anyways, yeah. Did any of you actually take down the big bold predictions we had last week, or was that just Lou? Because he is not here this week.
No, that was just Lou, to my knowledge.
Good. We should probably, moving forward, have a contingency for that. I do know that I was wrong about Matthew Stafford, but it wasn't necessarily his fault. He had like 3 touchdowns called back on penalties. So technically, I was spot on as far as how well he would play. I just didn't know that his offensive line was going to hold all the time. They had 17 penalties called on their offense. That's the most penalties that team has ever had. This is, for the second time, they've had 17 twice since they started tracking penalties in the NFL. That's insane.
That's got to be close to a record.
The worst one, though, the only one, and I'm a homer. See right there? I'm a homer. But the only one that I think was absolute bullshit was the offensive pass interference on Ebron when he caught the touchdown and then it got called back. That one was total garbage. Other than that, there's no discipline on that offensive line, and that needs to be addressed. To be fair, they're very young. It's a really young line. I mean, the starting left tackle and the starting center have a combined 15 games experience or something, and that's only because Taylor Lewan on the left side played weeks 1 and 2. So it would have been, at the beginning of the season, we're looking at 11, because Travis Swanson was the center. Man, what did you say? What was your hot take? Dom, did you have a hot take last week?
I did not. No, that was you and John, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, you're awful. Let's go to John, and then I want your impressions of the week before we get into the specifics. John, what was your hot take last week?
Overall, my hot take was that the Minnesota Vikings would look a lot better than anybody was ready to give them credit for in this game against the Packers. Because, I'm a
What the hell happened to your camera? Oh, it went all. I think there's a ghost in there.
I'm a football genius. Yeah, I was just concentrating on the spirits behind me.
Of course. Yes. This is actually, turns out, tricked you. This is a found footage horror video. Ha-ha.
Still better than Blair Witch 2.
How do you know that? You don't know that. Probably is going to be true, though. Anyways, so how do you feel about your prediction then?
Oh, I think my prediction went pretty well. Sammy Bradford looked great. Stephon Diggs was exactly the receiver that I thought he was going to look like once he had a guy that was a pocket passer and would get it out to him. Now, don't get me wrong. I still would be excited as hell for this team with Teddy Bridgewater. But Sam Bradford brought a new dynamic to the team that I think really helped open up the offense. As far as AP going down, it's a bummer. But I'm glad he's only going to be down a week or be out, potentially be out a week. Maybe they won't even sit him depending on how he feels.
I have mixed feelings about Adrian Peterson. I was actually sitting down on the couch yesterday night, watching the football game, with my girlfriend, and she's not a huge football fan. She's like she's a Boise State fan because we live in Boise, and they're pretty casual, all of them. And I'm from Michigan, so I'm not used to it. Like, they're just like, we'll get them next week. And if Michigan loses, like when they lost to Appalachian State, like 3 weeks were ruined for everybody. So I'm not used to the weird culture here where it's just kind of like blasé. But she is actually genuinely interested because this is really her first, because we didn't have TV last year. This is really her first time when in her house football is on all the time. So she's getting really interested in it, which was cool. But she is like, man, if I don't like a person, I don't care how good they are, I just can't cheer for them. And AP, I know, like, culturally, the kid beating thing, we're on opposite ends of the spectrum there. I know that. Like, he was brought up in a totally different environment than I was. But still, it kind of has like a little bit of a bitter taste in my mouth from that. And I'm kind of like, yeah, he's really great at his job. And the other part of me is like, I don't really necessarily wish you any success. Also, he's in the NFC North. But I don't wish for injuries, but I wasn't upset about it. I was upset for you a little bit because he's on your fantasy team. But it looked like a meniscus tear, so that's fine. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. Dom, what was your takeaway from this week before we get into the specific game-by-game breakdown?
Injuries, to be absolutely sure. Like that's the big obvious takeaway. But I really didn't see anything too unexpected, honestly. Maybe that Jags-Chargers game threw me through a loop a little bit, especially how much the Chargers won by. But other than that, wasn't anything too crazy that happened this week in terms of upsets.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say the one thing that continues to surprise me is how streaky Jameis Winston gets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's like all over the place. He literally had like basically the opposite week he had last week, where he threw 4 interceptions this week and 4 touchdowns last week. I think the Titans surprised me, although they didn't really win that game. You know what I mean? They kind of stole that one, which is good for them. Can't hate them for it. I mean, they played them close enough, but they should have lost by like 2 touchdowns. But good for the Titans, bad for the Lions. Very typical Lions. The Saints-Giants game, that's the surprising thing for me, because it went under 30 points total.
Yeah,
we had 29 points in the whole game. Everyone, like John and I on the preview, the recorded episode, we were like, start all your Giants and all your Saints. And I'm sorry, we failed you. So did every other fantasy analyst, though, that I can see. Everyone that I listened to for my information told me to do the same thing. So I don't know what to tell you. Those defenses turned out to counter each other pretty well. I don't think that's going to happen again, though, because I think what it was is both teams were like, yeah, we played that game last year. Fuck that game. We're not going to get torched. You know what I mean? Like Odell Beckham, by the way, not doing great. Keeps dropping big passes. Kind of like Brandon Marshall. That's got to be frustrating for Odell Beckham owners. He doesn't have a touchdown yet. I mean, it's only week 2, but the guy was ridiculous for 2 years straight.
Right.
So, yeah. Anything from those 2 games, the Titans-Lions, Saints-Giants, that you guys saw that was interesting?
I think penalties were a huge discussion in that game because of what it did to the Lions' score. Other than that, I think the Lions looked as good as I expected from a play-by-play standpoint. They just got to clean up their game. That's really
got to clean. That was a big problem with the Jim Schwartz era. always penalties. That was the like you're thinking Ndamukong Suh stomp, tons of other shit. The not a touchdown in Chicago with Calvin Johnson. So yeah, it's typical Lions kind of way to lose. It seems. I really thought they were going to drive down the field though, but they ended up throwing a pick on a blown route. But yeah, Dom.
It wasn't even just necessarily penalties for me that really showed me, like, I don't know. The offensive line looked undisciplined to me when I was watching that game.
Yeah, they're young.
They looked kind of all over the place. Sometimes they didn't know who they were covering. They were really aggressive. A lot of like, maybe that was a late hit or something like that. So I think they've got to tone their game down a little bit. Get organized, get focused, but they've got potential, and I think they could play a lot better this season. I think the Detroit Lions have something to make of their offense, so it's going to be interesting where that goes.
I think they're going to be ridiculous all season. Like I said, they're very Saintsy, where they're going to lose this type of game every once in a while, but they're going to maybe put up 45 points the next week. So it's crazy. Also, injury of note for fantasy owners. Amir Abdullah went down with a foot injury. X-rays came back negative. It seems like that's going to be kind of a week-to-week thing. It'll probably hobble him for a little bit. As far as New Orleans and the Giants, Rashad Jennings got hurt. It was his hand. He had a cast on it the other day. Shane Vereen might be a sneaky play. But I don't know. Shane Vereen has a propensity to disappoint you every day. Shane Vereen is just a walking disappointment. His family thinks the same thing. Cowboys, Redskins, and the Chiefs and Texans. We have two fans on RTP. Dom is the Cowboys fan, of course, because he can't decide why he likes things. And then Lou has the Texans because it's nearby. So Lou's not here today. So, Dom, what was your takeaway from the Cowboys Redskins?
Thank God they won. Was my basic takeaway. Because I don't know if I could handle them losing to the Giants and the Redskins back to back. That would have been a little hard for me to stomach.
He could have handled it.
Dak
played okay, by the way.
Dak did play okay. 22 completions. 30.
No, he ran for one touchdown. Yeah, so didn't throw for anything. But it's better to throw for no touchdowns or interceptions than just interceptions. So I mean, you're doing okay, man.
Plus, he had a pretty good completion rating. 22 for 30 ain't bad.
That's not the worst thing.
No.
I don't think there was any injuries in that game, was there? Not any big ones for fantasy.
No.
No, that's one of the few. That's actually really nice. I thought that was a good game, though. I was watching it on Red Zone.
Yeah, it was entertaining. Pretty good back and forth. Kirk Cousins not playing too hot, honestly. I thought he was going to be much better than he is this year. He's not doing well.
The completion percentage isn't there this year. Like last year, he was almost at 70%. And this year, I think they're running deeper routes because of Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah,
and it's really not his style. I think they should stop. They should be running Deshaun Jackson on.
Effect is what's happening.
Yeah. Now you know my feel.
It's a real thing. You were right, Jake.
It is. Of course, I was right. Don't sound so surprised, asshole.
Well, it just happens so infrequently. Gotta say.
That's untrue. That's patently untrue. Oh. You're welcome, by the way. So. Big injuries in the Texans versus Chiefs. None. Jamal Charles might come back. We don't know yet. We'll see what happens. I don't think they should make him come back if I'm Andy Reid. But anything? Did you get a chance to watch this game? Either of you?
Unfortunately, not. I was just noticing. Well, no, never mind. Don't worry about it. Never mind. No, I did not get to watch this game. I apologize. Hot take on my part.
Hot goddamn take, John. Bringing the heat. We got our own Skip Bayless in here. Hey, you know what? My opinion, not that important. Here on RTP, we are the humblest. Texans won over the Chiefs. I thought that game was boring. I'm glad I have Lamar Miller. They keep giving him the ball. I guess that's really all I have to say about it. Again, Fuller looks really, really good. If he's available in your league is garbage, and you're going to win it. So it's fine. Go get him. Dolphins Patriots. I know you watched this game, John. I know you watched it because you were angry about it. Please tell us all the things that we need to know about the Dolphins Patriots matchup, where the Patriots won. John, the Patriots won 31-24.
Yeah, so you know who they do keep giving the ball to, though, and that's Jarvis Landry. No matter what happens on that freaking team, that guy touches the ball a million times a game. So by halftime, I was ready to make an addendum to our GOAT show where we talked about whether or not Don Shula was the greatest coach or whether or not Bill Belichick was. I was ready to make an addendum to that at halftime. But then I saw what happened when Jimmy Garoppolo went down, and I saw what happened when Miami went in and made some adjustments. And I still think that Miami is a better team than they looked like in the first half. And I think that the Patriots are actually maybe showing a little bit of weakness. Jacoby Brissett didn't seem as ready to play as Jimmy Garoppolo was when he stepped in to stand up. So it's going to be
it is Garoppolo's third year in the offense, though?
Yeah, that's true.
And to be fair, any team in the Patriots position would show weakness right now. There's not a whole lot. Garoppolo going down really does kind of throw a wrench in their plans, and any team would kind of struggle if their if their QB2 went down. So.
No, yeah, but I would expect a 24. I would expect a 24-3 lead to be a little more secure than it was.
Yeah, I think they do. They went into breakdown bend mode to try to stop being so aggressive and kind of preserve bodies going in. But I agree with you. I think they could have slammed the door shut a little harder. Brissett did okay. It was like 6 for 9 or something. They went pretty damn conservative.
Yeah, they did.
Garoppolo went down.
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount got 1 million carries, and he looked pretty good. So,
yeah, he had over 100 yards, I believe. I guess the only injury news out of this is Rob Gronkowski might be back next week, but that's with Jacoby Brissett under center for 2 weeks, most likely. There's no reason to bring Jimmy back in, right? You got your 2 wins. Okay, we wanted to split. That's fine. Hopefully we get one more because they don't have very hard competition. But do you start Rob Gronkowski with Jacoby Brissett under center?
If I think if the second half of this game was any indication, they're going to go run heavy until they either get Tom back or Jimmy Garoppolo is ready to go.
Yeah, I'd say so. Do we think the Dolphins are going to flounder more this year, or are they about to turn the corner? I like what I'm seeing from the defense, actually, surprisingly, because last season they looked like shit, and this season they looked at least cohesive.
Yeah, their secondary looked a bit porous the first half this week, but they tightened everything up. It's hard to say that they tightened everything up because really the Patriots went so conservative. So it's really difficult to say, and the second half really showed much of what because the defense looked awful in the first half. From a run perspective, they couldn't stop the run. From a pass perspective, Jimmy Garoppolo was throwing the ball wherever he wanted to. So this week was difficult to really get a gauge, but because of the fact that they were able to come back and score 24 points in the second half, I'm not giving up yet.
I would like, by a show of hands, who was surprised that Arian Foster's groin got hurt? Nobody? Neither of you? Okay. All right. No one else is either. Arian Foster just cannot stay on the fucking field, man. That sucks. Dude is electric when he's going.
When he's on the field, he can do some great things. However, he is the permanently injured man.
All of his tendons are just fucked. So who's starting, John? Who's starting next week? Kenyon Drake or Jay Ajayi?
I'd like to see Kenyon Drake, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I'd really
I'm getting the feeling that is it because he scored 1 touchdown, or is it because
he looked dynamic and he looked like he was seeing the holes better than Jay Ajayi.
Yeah,
hole blind. Well, Jay Ajayi had better stats technically. He rushed 5 rushes for 14 yards, which isn't that great, but he had 4 catches for 31. And then Kenyon Drake only was on 2 carries, but he punched one in on the goal line, I believe, and then went 2 for 6 yards through the air. So, I'm assuming it's a committee thing right now. But Jay Ajayi is not terribly impressive. He just seems to be pretty consistent. So if Kenyon Drake can make a push, I think that's probably the running back to sit on in Miami for a while if you have a deeper league. Much deeper than ours because we can't really afford to sit on maybe in the Miami backfield. But if you have a good situation, maybe you could do that. I don't know. So moving on, we got the Ravens and the Browns. Every quarterback in Cleveland is injured. Every quarterback in the world. That's craziness. I don't understand how the Browns can't keep a guy on the field. Josh McCown basically goes out, and I'm convinced that the man is hell-bent to die on the field.
in glorious battle.
Right, he just wants a glorious death on the field, and then he can die in Cleveland, apparently, if that's a thing that people want. I don't get it. They're going to be starting I don't even know. What's that guy's name? He's a rookie. I can't even think of his name off the top of my head.
Some guy is what you're
Cody Kessler. You know, Cody Kessler.
Name.
He does. It is okay. So he's definitely starting. I don't know. They signed Charlie Whitehurst, I think, didn't they? Yeah, they signed Charlie Whitehurst to be the backup. RG3 is on the IR. Josh McCown is just fucking out. Sell on the Browns. Sell it. Just sell all of it. Maybe they can also move to Baltimore like last time. There'll just be 2 Baltimore teams. Something's got to give in the fucking Cleveland area. I don't like anyone on their team. I know people are high on Corey Coleman, but
I tell you, this game
Cody
was like
Kessler? Come on. What were you going to say?
This game is like a political election. It's the least bad person wins, I guess.
It's a shit sandwich versus
Yeah.
a pile of shit just without the bread. I get it. The Ravens suck too. I'm so tired of Baltimore. They're just boring. You know what I mean? Like, they're just fucking boring. They have 3 starting running backs, all of which are shit.
Yeah.
They have Joe Flacco, who's just like, he literally had to ask and plead his offensive coordinator to let him throw deep passes because they don't like Joe Flacco there. I don't get it. Jesus Christ. It's bad. Mike Wallace had the most points. He had 2 touchdowns, 41 yards. Like, you can't count on that production from Mike Wallace. Some people are rostering this guy. I don't get it.
No, he just got lucky in the red zone a couple times.
They don't really have anyone else to throw to be fair, but fuck, man.
So boring.
Fuck Baltimore. Dennis Pitta apparently decided to play again. He's actually getting targets. That might be if you need a tight end and you hate your life, Dennis Pitta is definitely someone that you could take a shot every time he gets thrown to and doesn't catch it. So
legitimately consider starting 3 tight ends and then hang yourself in an alleyway.
I don't think you, unless you have a super flex league, I don't think that's going to fly. But anyways, fuck the Ravens and the Browns. 49ers, Panthers. 49ers got spanked. Everyone thought they would. Fozzie Whitaker had a hell of a game after Jonathan Stewart went down. So, John, for the people at home, tell them how many functioning running backs you have on your fantasy team right now.
1.
1 functioning running back. That's too bad. If you would like, I always have people up for sale.
The best people. Let me tell you about these.
I got the best people. I got the best words. I have the best running backs. I have the best nickel corners.
Oh, I lied to you. I am a horrible human being.
I think they're both suck, though, don't they?
Fucking no. So here's the deal. I have TJ Yeldon.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And Bilal Powell.
Yeah, that's not. I said functioning.
Because Adrian Peters is listed as questionable, and I'm sure it's gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to doubtful by the end of the.
a week after tearing his meniscus. I just wouldn't do it.
And Jonathan Stewart is also listed as doubtful. So, yeah, it's going to be a good trade week.
Yeah,
not named.
I gotta imagine Bilal Powell's on the chopping block for it.
Got a feeling I got a roster spot opening up.
Yeah, it feels like it. But the 49ers continue to score points. Did anyone assume that they would score 27 points against the Panthers?
I did because I think so. With the way that they handled the game last week, I expected that they were going to come out and score some points. I didn't necessarily think they were going to win, but, man, I didn't expect them to give up 46. That's the big thing.
Their offense is made of people with chicken fry arms, apparently.
Torrey Smith is the only guy there. Carlos Hyde, I'm not very happy about, I think.
What this game was it would actually be really good if the San Francisco defense wasn't so shit. Because when San Francisco was out there, they were making good plays against that. When the San Francisco offense was out there, they were making good plays. They were finding holes, and then Cam Newton would come on the field and run over everyone.
Yeah, Cam kind of does that to everybody, to be fair. But
4 touchdowns, Jake. 4.
Is that all?
That's
not very good. Fucking Cam Newton over here, only getting 4 touchdowns in 37 rushing yards on 353 yards passing. God, he's a monster.
Guy's an animal.
He did fumble the ball once, though. Pussy. Anyways, moving on to the Bengals Steelers, which was actually very surprising because Antonio Brown didn't eviscerate them. And that's really my only big takeaway from that.
Yeah, so we talked about this game quite a bit because we expected it to be a game where there was going to be some big numbers, but that all got screwed up by the fact that it started to rain and rained fairly hard.
It rained hard, and that field got torn up. It was sloshy. Yeah, so I expect the next time they meet, if the weather's fine, for that to be a big game again. Yeah,
so with the weather as bad as it was, and there's still being 40 points scored in the game, man, if they play on a dry field, that's going to be 40 to 38 type of game. And I think that's what I said I was expecting this game to be, was just a big game. And it just the weather affected it, and they still scored a bunch of points. So that's a really fun matchup. It's an AFC North matchup. I'm looking forward to when they meet again.
I like it too because neither of them have these vaunted defenses like they used to.
Right.
Like 3 years ago, the Bengals and Steelers were like top of defensive world. And now they're just like mega offenses, which are super fun. So I like that they kind of been keeping pace with each other. Although I do think the Steelers will outgain them by quite a bit, especially because Le'Veon Bell's back next time they play. Who I'm not excited to see come the day Randy in our league gets him back. So, anyways, Dom, did you see anything here?
Not. I mean, you summarized it pretty well. I think there was some really
good job.
You're beautiful, Jake. Nothing wrong.
Thank you.
That was sarcasm, everyone.
Use your fucking words, Dom.
Go, Dom. Go, Dom. Go, Dom.
It's not working.
You guys
it's not working.
Me up.
Abort.
Okay, you put so much pressure.
Abort.
Just like I should have.
Cardinals Buccaneers. How bad did Jameis Winston look, Dom? 7 bad?
7.
7 units of awful?
7 units of awful.
I don't know how to measure that, but it was super bad. It was awful. I did not expect the Cardinals to eviscerate them the way that they did. I thought it was going to be like a bad. I thought it was going to be at least. I thought that 2 scores was probably where it was going to end. It was like 17 scores.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, Roberto Aguayo, by the way, not good.
The second quarter, they just fell apart. It was. Oof.
Yeah, I have Carson Palmer. I'm just pretty happy about it.
I have Larry Fitzgerald. He got me a pretty penny.
That's not how currency works. So Bucks, are we selling? Doug Martin got hurt. His hamstrings fucked up. Charles Sims is a decent receiving back, but he's certainly not a Doug Martin. So are we expecting pretty significant regression out of them, or the Cardinals' defense is pretty good. So is this because kind of a one-off thing, or was the week 1 the one-off?
Well, yeah, that's going to be what's interesting. So I think week 3 will tell us a lot more because, well, obviously. Man, I am hard up with these freaking hot takes.
If we get more data, we'll have more data.
Yeah, let me figure out how I can say the most obvious thing possible in as vague of a way.
How about this? It's a test for the defense because Todd Gurley, but it's a pretty one-dimensional offense they're going up against in LA. But the defense for LA, very, very good. I would say as good as Arizona's probably, because Arizona has some secondary issues on one side. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this is a show-me game for Jameis Winston and company because weeks 4, 5, and 6 are Denver, Carolina, and then a bye week where you can't show me anything. So this is kind of, if you split Denver and Carolina, you're super happy about it. But LA is a game you've got to win if you're the Buccaneers, right?
Absolutely. I think to solidify their legitimacy as a team, they've got to win week 3. I mean, because it's really, they're teetering on the brink right now. You know, some people are still defending them. Some people are saying week 1 was a fluke. I think that week 3 is really going to be the definitive argument unless something crazy happens later in the season.
The defense looks bad.
It really does.
They got just torched. In week 1, Matt Ryan threw for 334 yards. They lost, but still, because Jameis Winston threw 4 touchdowns. So I don't know. I think we're probably going to see something in the middle. I don't think that they were as good as they showed they were in week 1, at least not on the offensive side. But I also don't think they're as bad as they were in week 2, because most of that was Jameis Winston. And I believe I didn't watch all of it. I saw highlights. One of the interceptions was not his fault. Technically, it was like a tip ball. But, I'm not selling on Jameis Winston fantasy-wise. He's a really good quarterback. But that's one of the better defenses. I'm not playing him in weeks 4 or 5, and obviously not 6. But he comes back. Week 7 is San Francisco, 8 is Oakland, 9 is Atlanta, 10 is Chicago. And then 11 is Kansas City, who has health issues. And then 12 is Seattle, who looks like shit. 13 San Diego, 14 is New Orleans, then Dallas, then New Orleans again. He's got a really nice schedule after the bye.
Yeah, literally every one of those games could turn into more so than I think any other schedule I could think of at this point. Those games all have the potential to turn into shootouts, and he has the potential to turn it into a shootout against any team. So that's going to be fun to watch, I think. And, I mean, the NFC South I don't think is really going to do much this year, but there's going to be some fun games, and I think at the very least the Bucs are going to have a fun schedule to watch.
Yeah, I'd say so. I agree with that. What is that? Seahawks-Rams. That was the most boring game of the week.
Whoa,
that was
12 points.
I could not even finish that. And I have Todd Gurley.
Scored.
I didn't start Todd in this game because I'm smart and no one is unbenchable.
Except Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown, I benched him last year when Vic started one game. I had faith for the first game, benched him the second time, and it worked out for me. But something other than that, yeah, probably not. If he has Ben Roethlisberger on the field, you can't bench him. He only gets you 8.5 points because he got a tackle and he got 1.5 for it. But
I got a ridiculous amount of smug satisfaction from Russell Wilson losing to the Los Angeles Rams.
Fuck Russell Wilson.
Bullshit that he pulled with tweeting about how his fucking hard work and perseverance are what won that game. Fuck you, Russell Wilson. You lost to L.A.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Fuck you.
I'm so happy that Seattle looks like shit. Also, Doug Baldwin went down. I don't know what it looked like.
I don't like to hear that, though. I hate hearing about it.
Let me look that. No, I don't either, but I like that he doesn't have anyone else to throw to. I like Doug Baldwin, but fuck Russell Wilson.
Man,
Doug Baldwin went down. I want to say it was a knee. Yeah, it was a knee. MRI was negative. So that's good. But he also had back spasms on Sunday. I assume he's not playing against the 49ers because they're going to let him rest, thinking they can beat than without. I don't like anyone on the Seahawks right now, except their defense, who I think will keep it. I think they'll keep them in games, but Russell has an ankle issue going on right now, and you saw that lack of explosion last week. Yeah, I mean, Kristen Michael is okay. Thomas Rawls is knocking on the door the whole time. I don't know, man. I'm not crazy excited about any Seahawk right now because their offense looks lethargic as fuck. The Steelers, or the Rams, not the Steelers. The Steelers are great. The Rams also look like garbage, but I'm waiting for Goff, man. Once Goff time happens, and they should start him in week 3 because that Tampa Bay defense sucks assholes. It sucks literal assholes before pregame. They do like the Gatorade Prime, the jellies. They suck assholes instead of the jellies. I'm just saying. So
Jake, one of the things we talked about on the podcast was the fact that I have a thought that Jeff Fisher might be just the first quarter coach to get them through the move to get them through the move to LA. I think this win against the Seahawks could potentially have bought them a couple more weeks.
Fuck. It's divisional too. I fucking hate Jeff Fisher, man.
It's a divisional win against a Super Bowl contender every year. That's a big deal for LA.
No, he needs to be gone at the bye. There's nothing else to say there. Week 8 after the New York Giants game, he's fired immediately. Okay, they bring in literally anybody else. Bring in Rob Ryan's hair, and that'll do a better job than Jeff fucking Fisher. And Jared Goff, for fuck's sake, get him in this game. Even if you bench him for the Arizona game, get him experience against a shitty defense, bench him for Arizona, expect that loss, then go Buffalo, Detroit, New York Giants. Those are all winnable games. Then bye, and then you have Carolina. And then you're starting for the rest. I don't care if it's Carolina, then New York, then Miami. Fuck that. I don't care. You're starting now. You're a quarterback. Grow up, Jared/Jeff Fisher. Yeah. Anyways, and it's not just frustration because I'm a Todd Gurley owner. I benched him in 1. It's fine.
Physically capable of being mature with that haircut.
Fuck, man. I don't. It's his face. He looks like you.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. He's obviously better looking, but it's fine. I will still wait for you, Dom. I am starting Todd Gurley against Tampa Bay, though. Part of that is I don't have a choice. But the other part of that is I would have anyways, even if I didn't.
That's because their defense is staffed by figurines that look like football players but are actually made of porcelain.
Yeah, well, I will say Quan Alexander is the only bright spot right now. Levante David got 0 fantasy points last week. Levante David, if you guys play in IDP leagues, you know that he's the quarterback. He's the linebacker that you want in the NFL in IDPs. He got 0. That's insane to me. Quan Alexander might be the new top dog there. I'm glad he's on my team. Fuck you guys.
Let me give you another interesting thing about that IDP stuff, though. Yeah. So I have Honey Badger starts for me as my defensive back, and the Cardinals held the Buccaneers to 7 points and scored 40. He only had 2 tackles the whole game. So I got
he shut down one zone.
Yeah, exactly.
There were 4 interceptions. And I literally checked your team to see how many interceptions Tyrann Mathieu had, and it was 0. Because I thought you were going to have a nice big game from him because of the interceptions, and there was a fumble. Like, oh, he's got to be in on one of those. Wasn't on 0 of them.
All he had was 2 tackles. Yeah, they isolated him well. They didn't go his direction at all.
Yeah. That happens to Richard Sherman, too. That's why he's not viable.
Right.
Which might suck. Although, luckily, Matthew comes down into the nickel and plays nickel corner every once in a while, and he'll come down and run support a lot. So he's got a high upside anyways. What were you saying, Dom? I'm sorry.
I was saying he's basically the nuclear deterrent.
That's a terrible take.
Oh.
I just want you to we're going to sit on that for a minute and let everyone be disappointed in you. Moving on to the Falcons and Raiders, which was a great game. I love that game.
This was the shootout I expected.
The number 1 quarterback in fantasy football is who?
Matthew, Bartholomew, J. Ryan.
I don't know if those are accurate. But
They're
yes,
probably not.
Matt Ryan currently has, in our league at least, 52 fantasy points. Now we give bonuses for stuff like completion percentage and big plays. So he's probably in less. But he is the number one quarterback right now in fantasy. And his next matchup is in New Orleans. I'm riding the Matt Ryan train. I can't believe I'm saying it. I drafted him as my third quarterback. He started for me 3 weeks in a row.
He's throwing the ball a million times a game, so you got to keep him in there, especially because we're a PPR league. You got to keep him going.
Right. Well, he doesn't get points for.
He's not getting.
He gets points. It's 1 point per 10 completions, but negative 1 point for 5 incompletions. So if you have a really good completion rate, you get an extra point. But yes, it's kind of PPR for that. Except if we did fractional scoring, I'd give him 0.01 or something for each completion, because then you could probably get like 3 points from that. But anyways, just a great shootout. They actually won that game, so that's good because they lost the last shootout against Tampa Bay. So good for the Falcons, man. I gotta think Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman owners are gonna have a West Side Story-esque alley fight at some point, snap dancing and all, because no one can decide which one of them to have. Who are you taking? Are you taking the guy that owned fantasy last year, or are you taking the guy that's probably taking his job?
Do you know who I'm taking? I'm taking Rock Soldier for his nickname that he's come up with for Dom this week.
No. Dom
Fisher.
Dom Fisher. Nice. Dom Fisher. It doesn't really flow very much.
But it's accurate.
So we'll table it for now, but it's definitely on deck.
I would coach a football team about as well as him.
I don't think so, actually. I think you're more in the Marty Morningweg line there, who deferred against the Bears in sudden death overtime after winning the coin toss. I'm just saying. I was a child. I asked my father, hey, why is that happening? My dad looked to me, almost 40 years old, looked at me and said, because he's an idiot, son. And I never forgot those words. So, anyways, I love the Raiders. I love everything about them right now, except their defense, necessarily. Khalil Mack still doesn't have a sack yet, but he's going to go off one of these days, or I'm going to kill myself because he's my defensive lineman. He gets some tackles, though, so it kind of makes up for it because he also plays the linebacking position. But I really expected him to get a sack in this game, if I'm going to be honest with you. I really, really expected him to get it. But he's going against Tennessee. Now it's got to happen, right? It's Marcus Mariota. He's not even that good. Hit the man, Khalil.
The man.
Look at Khalil, camera A. Hit Marcus Mariota. Hard. Like, don't hurt him. Like, it's still a competitive game. Like, come on. Sportsmanship. Anyways, Chargers, Jaguars. Allen Robinson's disappointing me. I can't even.
It's okay, Jake. You just need time to heal.
He has 20 targets and 5 catches in 2 weeks.
I know.
Dom, you don't understand. Your team's garbage. How could you possibly understand this?
2-0, Jake.
So am I.
We're tied for division leader.
I lied. He has 9 catches.
Oh,
it's still not enough.
Okay.
Talk to me about this game.
Hot
takes. Anyways, Chargers. Danny Woodhead blew his fucking knee out, guys.
Yay, injuries.
Melvin Gordon, not Marvin. Marvin is his uncle that sits there with Newports and tells you how to fix the freezer.
Fascinating. Phillip Rivers went off that game.
Mom single. Phillip Rivers did go off that game. Rivers. Sizzling.
The cheeseburger. He was an absolute beast.
Was he? What? Why did you stop talking?
Because I thought you were interjecting there. I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ, use your words. You're trying to tell me Cheeseburger went off, and I don't know that that's true unless you tell me the things about that.
All right, Cheeseburger Rivers went off. He had some really huge plays. He had an excellent completion record, and he managed.
Give me some numbers, Tom.
And 17 for 24, 220 yards, 4 touchdowns. And
17 for 24. That's not very many passes to get that. That's pretty good.
It's not very many passes. It's
a lot of big ones.
Big deep throws is what it was.
Travis Benjamin went off too because of that, right?
Yeah.
He's what's that other one? Terrell something.
He doubled his projected fantasy points to my knowledge. It was insane.
He's he's a fast little dude. Terrell Williams. People are saying that he's ownable now. He only got 3 catches, but he did have 61 yards and a touchdown. Is that really all you need? He had 6 targets. Travis Benjamin seems like the guy to own. I mean, in our league, Terrell Williams is owned because we start 3 wide receivers. But he's only owned on ESPN in 43.5% of leagues, up 42.3%. So there's still room. I don't know how I feel. But wow, by the way, people still own Keenan Allen in 31% of leagues.
Really?
Guys, drop Keenan Allen. 31% of leagues are not keeper leagues. There's no way that's accurate. Anyways, John, you look like you want to say words.
So I got to expect that there's people that have just thrown Keenan Allen into the IR slot like we have. So that's probably why. Yeah, that's why he's probably sitting in a lot of leagues. Not all of them are keepers, but he's going to have some IR slot stuff. Look, the Chargers 2 weeks in a row have looked like a team that wants to try to prove something. And I'm actually impressed with them. Even in the loss to Kansas City, they look like a team that was way better than I think really most people expected.
Defensively, especially.
Yeah, exactly. And the Jaguars are looking the opposite. Now, they looked pretty good against Green Bay, but Green Bay looked super vulnerable even this week. And Jacksonville really, their offense is not clicking the way that I expected to. And for the Chargers to score 38 points on what I was expecting to be a way better defensive game than it turned out to be. I don't know. Maybe the Chargers are for real, and this is going to make the AFC West even more interesting.
I think Click is an – oh, sorry, Jake, I cut you off.
It could totally be true. You think Click is what?
I think click is an excellent, not clicking quite right, is an excellent way to describe the Jacksonville Jaguars offense because no one necessarily played bad. Like Blake Bortles went 31 for 50, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, that's not bad play. It's just
it's not efficient.
It's not efficient. That's the issue.
Efficiently converting drives into points. And
I think the problem. Part of it is how deep they run Allen Robinson, who is their best athlete, down the field before they throw him the ball. If you can throw him 2 or 3 screens a game, or not even screens, just short 5 yards or in routes, like quick hitches or something, and let him turn it upfield and burn somebody, he can break a tackle and go after it. That's what you need to do. Randall Cobb him every once in a while and get him the ball. Because he's your best athlete.
On a 5-yard pass, yeah.
Right. This is what they did with Calvin Johnson again. It's the Calvin Johnson effect. Oh, he can go up and get it and burn a guy. We're only going to do that. Mm-hmm. That's easy to defend over time. All you got to do is have someone over top of him, and he's closed off. Like every single one of his catches are where he turns in or runs a slant or something like that. Every single one of his catches this season so far.
And it almost reminds me of, forgive making the baseball reference on a football-centered episode, but it almost reminds me of Moneyball, back in, which is a book I read over the summer. Fantastic.
Sabermetrics.
Yep.
You want efficiency and on-base percentage rather than the home runs is what you're saying.
Exactly. And not only that, but it's a mindset. People are heavily reliant on their big play superstars, and it's just not working anymore.
This is why Antonio Brown owns the NFL right now, because they run the intermediate and short routes with him as well and trust him to turn the ball upfield and kill someone, and then eventually he's going to burn your ass and he's going to get a 70-yard bomb. That's okay. That's what you want to do because you don't want him to say, oh, he's going to go at least 15 yards before he even touches a ball. Yeah, obviously. Like Alan Hearns got a lot of production last year because he didn't have to be the burner. That's why the Allen Bros became a thing. Now this year, people know what to expect, and they've adjusted to that. So fucking, I'm just saying, if you're on the Gus Bradley train right now, jump off of it because it's going off a cliff. Okay? Don't stay on the Gus Bradley train. It's a doomed endeavor. Anyways, moving on. Was anyone injured in that, by the way, besides Woodhead? I don't think so, but he's a big one. So Melvin Gordon, his fantasy value goes up, but I don't know if it's a lot based upon the way they run their offense. So we'll see what happens.
You really need someone.
I think he's good for two more catches a game, probably, which is good in a PPR league. I mean, you get 2 more points probably, but he's not running in the flats like Danny Woodhead is because often they'll be on the field at the same time. So he can't do both. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anyways, Colts and Broncos. Colts got beat by 2 touchdowns. I expected that. Trevor Siemian again, looking like an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I cannot figure out whether or not this has anything to do with his play or just how absolutely amazing that defense looks.
I mean, there was the same thing last year. I mean, Siemian only has to not lose the game. He didn't throw any touchdowns. He threw 1 interception, 266 yards. He ran for 7 yards. But he's not like the interception's a bad thing, but his defense is taking the ball away at least once a game.
Yeah.
So you have 1 in the bank, kind of, free, consider it free, and if he throws a touchdown, that's gravy. C.J. Anderson's their whole offense right now, though, so pump the brakes on Denver if he goes down, because I'm not sure that that's sustainable. Because CJ has had injuries in the past. He's not the most durable guy in the world. I do like his running style, though. CJ Anderson owners, I didn't buy into the hype preseason, and I should have. I think I got him. I think I picked Derrick Henry up before CJ Anderson got picked up. I'm an idiot. So, anyways, although, by the way, I didn't mention this during the Tennessee breakdown, Derrick Henry is getting more touches in week 2. And he almost equaled DeMarco Murray in touches. I'm looking forward to my long-term goal here is to see during my bye weeks 8 and 9, Derrick Henry will be the starting running back there, and I will have fucked Dom because I traded him DeMarco Murray for Sammy Watkins, who ended up getting hurt immediately. Yeah. So right now he's the big winner there, but I can turn this shit around. Anywho's. Colts Broncos. I'm not buying anyone. Moncrief went down with a knee, I think, or an ankle. That doesn't look good.
Away.
You traded him away too. Wow, Dom. You're so basically, if Dom trades them, they will be hurt. You also traded Arian Foster away. Who else did you trade away?
Aren't I?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good thing. So are the Broncos for real again with Trevor Siemian? I mean, assume C.J. Anderson goes down, okay, just for a stretch. Give it 5 games.
No.
And let's say, well, let me look at their schedule real quick. Trevor Siemian, say, okay, week 11 is their bye. Say Kansas City, Jacksonville, Tennessee, New England, Kansas City. C.J. Anderson's gone for those 5 games, weeks 12 through 16. Are they winning any of those games?
They're definitely not winning against New England. They just get outscored to the max.
I think New England's the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Judging by what we see just with Jimmy Garoppolo right now, they're the only consistent team. Now, that could change midseason, of course. Tom's going to be back and fresh, though. 4 weeks off for an NFL quarterback, any NFL player, that's a vacation, man. You can't tell. I mean, I'm sure he's frustrated because he wants to go out and play because he's a competitor, but, oh, man, week 5. Week 5, you're the best feeling guy out there. Come on.
I think it was John that said he's going to come out angry, and he's going to start making
Oh, man. Like, I think owners of Le'Veon Bell, like, if you can scrape together a 2-2, oh yeah, you're super happy about that because you have the freshest and best running back in the league suddenly. Like, you own Jamal Charles. If they don't rush him back, that could be an excellent investment. So stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy them without C.J. Anderson.
I do.
You do? I think
so. I didn't buy them coming into the season. I thought that this season was going to pretty much be a loss for Denver while they tried to rebuild their offense, especially with Trevor Siemian. But after these first 2 weeks, and even with the Chiefs' loss, the AFC West looks like all of a sudden a super tough division. And I think the Broncos defense just looks amazing. This looks like it could turn into another, Ravens winning a Super Bowl strictly because of their defense. These guys are just, they just look good. I mean, just good.
Yeah, that defense is really good still. We thought maybe they lost some pieces, Danny Trevathan and Malik Jackson and stuff. Hasn't affected them at all. It's pretty great to watch. I really love I think they're the last great defense in the league right now. Someone's got to be number 2, but I don't think it's Seattle. They look like shit. I mean, they went up against the Rams, but they're going to be on the field so often if they can't finish drives on offense. I don't know. It just doesn't look good to me. Vikings might be it, though. Number 2, they won over the Packers 17-14, which was impressive. But the Packers, we have 2 Packers fans in our league, Josh and Randy. And Josh is the more reasonable of the 2. Randy is fucking ridiculous. And literally calls
absolutely insufferable.
Literally calls Aaron Rodgers Godgers because he's a god. And granted, Aaron Rodgers is that good. He is demigod status probably in real life. But come on. This team has so many issues, right? I'm not excited if I'm a Packers fan about this team at all. I'm worried about every team in the division, even the Bears.
Them's fighting words.
I'm not saying the Bears are going to beat them record-wise. I'm saying in a matchup against the Bears, I'm not sure I favor the Green Bay Packers by as much as I did in preseason. You know what I mean? Eddie Lacy looks like shit. The offense is lethargic again because of the running game. And the defense is not great. I mean, the Vikings outplayed them in every facet. The only reason it was close is because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and he's the best quarterback in the league pretty much every day.
Except for today. He didn't do that great today.
Well, today is Tuesday, so did you go watch practice or
figure of speech? And he was pretty lukewarm throughout the game. He threw like 20 for 36, so he was not making the completions. Now you can argue that's due to his non-existent O-line, which is
no separation from the Vikings secondary, at all for the receivers. I watched the whole game. The Vikings are just a better team. And John, I would like to give you this opportunity, the floor, to praise yourself and Sammy Buckets, Sam Bradford. He's good. I think we both thought that they would be better. I think you were much higher. They didn't blow the Packers out by any stretch, but he's a better player than Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion, anyways. Like maybe only 2 or 3 spots as far as the tiers go, but he's a genuinely good passer. What do you think, man?
So Teddy Bridgewater is a bit more fun to watch. He's kind of more of an explosive guy. He's quicker. He's faster. He's more apt to run.
He moves in the pocket a lot more. He doesn't necessarily pull it down and run for 50 yards, but he'll make a guy miss every once in a while, and he'll kind of pop it out. He wears the gloves, so he looks cool. He's clearly athletic.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. And Sammy's that guy that he's just going to stand tall in there, get the ball out. And I think that's one of the reasons why he probably takes a lot more injury, because he's standing there and probably taking hits in a more direct nature. But the fact that he's standing in the pocket, allowing the pocket to form around him and getting the ball out fast, that's that style of QB play that is consistent no matter what. And Sam Bradford just hasn't had a lot of opportunity to show that because of the fact that he's constantly gotten injured. But we got to see him in a really good game. And I really had a feeling that he and Stephon Diggs were just going to connect and go off. And that was fun to watch him get the ball out there. It really, because he opened up plays past 15 yards. And I don't think anybody really takes Teddy Bridgewater terribly seriously past about 15 yards.
Yeah, I'd say so. Part of that's the routes that they run because Teddy Bridgewater's back there. So I don't know if they're still just kind of handling them with kid gloves or if they just the coaches know better than I would because they see him in practice every day. Not anymore though, huh? Low blow. Sorry. Um, but I don't know if they trust him with the ball that deep, which is weird. Saying that Sam Bradford's better at that, but I mean Bradford was the best quarterback in college not too long ago. 2010 or something? He's not even been in the league that long, and he's had a new offensive coordinator every single year he's been in the league, and of course those injuries. So I don't know, but still, AP did not look like he could run the ball. I don't know. Did he lose a step, or is that line bad? I can't tell which, because he's either getting hit in the backfield or not making it past the kind of the push. Once you hit the line of scrimmage.
Because he averaged 1.6 yards for the second week in a row. That's per
Yeah.
carry.
I can't tell.
Getting out there.
I can't tell if it's his fault, though. Is it his fault?
I don't necessarily think so. I think that he just can't get out there. It's, maybe if he was averaging like 2.2, to the point where he's like just getting outside the line of scrimmage, but he is not.
Right. I mean, even the worst running back can get 3 yards.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I don't know if it's his fault. John, as an Adrian Peterson owner, how freaked out are you?
Not terribly yet. I'll see. I want to see what I'm going to give. All right.
At what point?
I'm more freaked out than I'm letting on. Adrian Peterson is basically the equivalent of my first round pick, and I feel like I'm probably not going to get any production out of him this year.
I mean, Carolina's up next. I would bench him. Then you got the Giants, which is doable, and then Houston, and then a bye week, and then Philly, Chicago, Detroit, Washington, and then week 11's again when you have a good defense again. So I think you're looking at the middle of the season is going to be kind of your thing, and week 11's your make or break. Show me what you got, and if he doesn't do well against Arizona, assuming he's still healthy and playing, I don't know if you can count on him in the playoffs if you make it. Indianapolis sucks, but Green Bay, they're not great, but they can stop a run. So I don't know. I don't know either.
He looked like he was losing a step in week 1 and even leading up to the injury. He looked slower.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see.
This meniscus injury is going to slow him down more.
Do you know who I feel bad for the most, though? It's not AP. It's Sam Bradford, because he got traded to the Vikings, and everyone's like, he's never had a running game this good in his entire career. Yeah, he has. Every year that he's had a running game, it's been better than this. He had Steven Jackson in town for years. He was doing okay with that, I think. I would not be the most upset person if Adrian Peterson came back and gave Sam Bradford a little bit of something to look forward to. But who are you starting? Everyone wants to pick up Jerick McKinnon, it looks like. I feel like Matt Asiata is a better play. How do you guys feel about that? Jerick McKinnon's got that explosive power, but when AP goes out, Matt Asiata goes in and catches balls and runs. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Asiata was a viable starter when AP. He was actually a fairly good RB2 when Peterson was out with all of his legal issues. Yeah. So Asiata is probably a good handcuff in this regard.
Yeah, I'd say so. Dom, how do you feel about Sammy Buckets?
Sam Bradford is actually looking like he made the trade worth it for the Vikings, honestly.
So far.
Yeah, he's not letting him down. He's, like you said, he's not nearly as athletic, but man, he can make drives happen. And
yeah, I'm not excited about the Carolina game though.
And when Adrian Peterson is just not performing for whatever reason, the ability to still make drives happen, even against a team like the Green Bay Packers, who are admittedly not nearly as good as they've been in the past, is impressive. It really is. Mm-hmm. So my hat's off to him, honestly.
If I'm Mike Zimmer, I'm not making this up. If I'm Mike Zimmer, I'm faking a Sam Bradford injury because he got hit in the hand the other day. I'm faking it, letting him sit out a week, and letting Sean Hill get destroyed by the Carolina defense. Sorry, Sean. You're kind of the sacrificial lamb in this scenario. I would love to see that because I want Sam Bradford to finish his season and see what he can do. I want to see him in the playoffs. I want to see what happens. But if they make the playoffs, then Green Bay has to not make the playoffs, so Detroit can. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where I'm rooting near the end of the season, or if it even matters. If they keep with all the penalties, it won't matter. Last game was the Eagles versus the Bears. I think we're all aboard the Carson Wentz train now, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we have to be. The guy, it's a show me league, and he is showing that he can play. Like, I know that John Gruden, not the most popular guy on broadcast. A lot of people like to make fun of him. I'm one of them. But everything he said about Carson Wentz was accurate the other day on the broadcast when he's like, he just commands the offense and he's good at communicating to his receivers and his line. He really is good at it. He moves like the running back around and when he senses run blitz and then they run to the weak side for 4 or 5 yard gain. That's a little thing, but it's so important in the long run. Like those are invisible yards that aren't counted. It's the what if yards.
Mm-hmm.
He has a positive in that what if yards category where a lot of people don't check out of that situation and they get fucked up. Like this is what separated Peyton Manning all those years was the ability to be like, hey, let's not do the thing we just said we were going to do. Let's do a different thing. I believe there's a word for that in football. There's no way of knowing though. He's really good at calling audibles though. Man. I don't know if I'm on the Eagles train this season, but I'm on the Carson Wentz train moving forward.
I think with the draft picks that the Eagles got, I think we could be seeing a great team in 2 or 3 years. I don't know if they're certainly not there now, but with Carson Wentz and the team they could build from him, man, they could be really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't throw for a ton of yards. It was 190. He threw 1 touchdown. Didn't turn the ball over though. Had 10 rushing yards, no big deal. Week before that in Cleveland was 278, 2 touchdowns, which was a good showing. Pittsburgh's next, then a bye week, then Detroit, then Washington. Week 7 at Minnesota, at home against Minnesota is really the hardest thing he's going to have to do for a while. I mean, Detroit has a really good pass rush. Washington's okay. Pittsburgh has some pass rushers. But
his tough time's going to try to keep outscoring that offense, which
he should be statistically viable in fantasy as a QB2 for the foreseeable. Like I'm looking at the schedule at Seattle week 11, and then good to go. Wow, these guys have a really really easy schedule. I was not aware. Maybe I am on the on the Eagles train. I don't know. They're 2-0 though. That's crazy. They have a pretty good defense.
You brought up a great point, and I want to pound home on it a little bit here, Jake. And that's we're gonna go deep right now. Here we go. You ready?
Pound it deep, John.
All right, here we go. Peyton Manning in his rookie season threw for 3,739 yards, and this information's from Wikipedia, by the way. 26 touchdowns, but he had 28 interceptions. The team only went 3-13 that year. The comparison to Peyton Manning is apt. And I think that Carson Wentz has a better team than Peyton Manning did. The way this kid looked on the field was just fun. He looked like, Peyton Manning is the only way to describe it. It's what I was thinking the whole game watching.
A much more athletic Peyton Manning, I will say.
Exactly. So, Kyle, here you go. We're making sure to give you love to the Philadelphia Eagles. They are not the team that I thought they were. They are much better. And I think that the rest of the NFC East, first of all, Philadelphia is going to make them not the dumpster fire I thought they were, but I think it's Philadelphia's a division to lose at this point. They just look like a good team, and I think Carson Wentz is the future of NFL quarterbacking. He looks fucking awesome.
It's like a dumpster fire with a ruby right in the middle.
So Kyle said Jordan Matthews shouldn't have dropped that pass. Kyle, camera A. Kyle, have you watched Jordan Matthews play football? He's a wide receiver. minus the receiver part. He doesn't catch balls ever. The only reason he has catches is because they throw to him all the time. It's like monkeys and typewriters, man. Monkeys and typewriters with Jordan Matthews. He drops 1,000,000 balls. He's the worst fucking wide receiver ever. He gets open and can't catch it. If he just worked on his fucking hands for an off season, he'd be one of the best possession receivers in the league. But he's garbage. I hate Jordan Matthews. He lets you down every time. Fuck Jordan Matthews. Go get a real wide receiver. I texted in our chat that night, wow, they really need to get this kid some weapons because he's got nobody. If you're excited about Ryan Matthews, you just have had a really bad team for plenty of years. Do you remember the type of production you used to get out of your backfield with Westbrook? Like, come on. This is not what you need right now. You actually kind of don't want him to win this year, so you can go get some fucking skill players, man. There's nothing. KK Cooper was not worse. KK Cooper was just a racist. That's Riley Cooper for those of you who can't read that he spelled Cooper with a K. So I don't know. I'm on the Eagles train a little bit. They have an easy schedule. I do expect there to be some stumbles. I'm hoping that the rib doesn't come back to haunt Carson because he is fun to watch. He's in command. He's athletic. He's like what people in Minnesota wish Teddy Bridgewater was, I think. And what he showed for like the last 4 games 2 years ago in the regular season and then just didn't do shit ever again. But yeah, that's the end of this week. Are there any anything else you want to talk about week 3 that you were really, really surprised about, or is that pretty much it?
I think we're all good.
Yeah. Do you have anything else on the docket there, John, besides previewing Thursday's game between the Texans and the Patriots, who will be in their color rush uniforms? I don't know if I'm excited about that or not.
What colors could they possibly be rushing? Those two teams have the same color scheme: navy
red and blue,
red and silver.
Red. I think the Texans are going white this year. I could be wrong. But yeah, I gotta. I don't know. The Texans could get a win out of this because Brissett's in there instead. Like, good for you, Houston. That must feel pretty good. I'm kind of I hate to wish for injuries on anybody, but if Jacoby Brissett got injured, the quarterback would be Julian Edelman.
No.
Yes, he played quarterback in college. He's their emergency quarterback. I kind of want to see it. J.J. Watt, just like dislocate a pinky on Brissett or something. Like, it doesn't hurt. I've dislocated my finger before. You'll be fine. Jacoby, take one for the fucking team. Take one for the NFL. Take one for America. And let us watch Julian Edelman play quarterback for a game. Just one. You could come back in week 4 and play all you want. I just want to see it against the Texans. Frankly, I want to see Julian Edelman quarterback the team and beat the Texans.
Frankly, Jake, I'm not surprised that the Texans are wearing all white for their color rush game, especially after the NFL put both of the Texas teams up against both teams that are named after Native Americans, and then both the Texas teams won. I think that
a little political with the color rush.
So SJWs run with that one.
Yeah, run. Yeah, they're reappropriating whiteness even more. So yeah, what are your predictions for this game? I have no idea what to expect from Jacoby Brissett. He went 6 for 9 for like 70 yards or some shit. It wasn't anything.
Can you imagine if he comes back in a week and looks exactly like Garoppolo did?
I'm not surprised if it happened.
God.
Belichick is that good, and the offense likes to. We talked about it before. This is the best kind of plug-and-play system in the NFL where you work towards the strengths of people. When you have a receiver like Julian Edelman, you can always move the chains. And if Gronk comes back, that's another weapon. I don't know. Puppy, quit yawning. I have a puppy in here. And then
is he sneaking up on you?
Might turn into surprise puppy time.
Surprise puppy time, which you get on every Cooking with Jake. Anyways, but the Texans, I like their weapons. I like Will Fuller. I like DeAndre Hopkins. I like Lamar Miller. I don't like Bork Laser, but yeah, man.
But he's got DeAndre Hopkins.
I think I'm taking the Texans by let's call it
It's not
24 to 17. 24 to 17 Texans at Foxborough. This is my hottest take I could give you for this game. The hottest take I could give you is, yeah, they'll probably Lamar Miller might, I don't know. Here's my hot take. Lamar Miller, 150 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown.
Jacoby Brissett, 20 for 30, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's my hot take.
How many sacks does J.J. Watt get, Dom?
All of them.
All the sacks against Jacoby Brissett. I think they're going to do a really good job. They play in a lot of 2 tight end sets, and they'll probably chip a lot. So it should be okay.
Do you remember that scene from Star Wars when the Emperor rebuilds Anakin Skywalker, and you see them? That's when you meet
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader for the first time, and
sure.
that's what Bill Belichick is doing to Jacoby Brissett right now. He has him in that pod, and he's putting that fucking Tom Brady suit on him because he just ripped it off of Jimmy Garoppolo. So now
they're all Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I was trying to think in this analogy, who is Tom Brady? And I was thinking like Kylo Ren. I don't think so.
It doesn't matter, man. We're talking about the Emperor. That motherfucker is just interchanging him as he needs to.
Tom Brady is Darth Maul.
Tom Brady got cut in half by Ewan McGregor. That's weird. So yeah, what are your predictions for the game, Dom? Who are you taking in the win, by the way, John? Before we get to Dom,
Patriots.
What's the score?
30-24.
30-24.
Because I think that DeAndre Hopkins is just going to continue to run under every ball that Brock Osweiler throws at him, and Lamar Miller just looks like a great fucking running back. And I wish we could have seen that out of him in Miami, but we had an inept offensive coordination scheme, and we had a coach that wouldn't allow his offensive coordinators to run plays because he wanted to, even though he kept delegating. But thankfully, we've got that out of the way with Adam Gase, and it ends up being Houston's benefit. So there you go.
Yeah. I'm writing down the hot takes, by the way.
So, Bill Belichick is a dangerous man, and a man that is not to be underestimated.
He sounds. Is he like a gang, like a mobster?
Basically, but for football. And
Tom Brady wakes up in the morning with fucking horse heads in his bed every day.
But anyhow, as I was saying.
Jesus Christ, Dom.
Dom, you are a delight.
You're a little gem.
I'm an idiot.
With enough peer pressure, you'll turn into a diamond.
We're gonna get you there, Dom. What it's feeling like right now is you blow up a balloon. Ready? You're like, I'm gonna have this great.
And then your fingers are too small and you can't tie it. That's the best analogy for Dom ever. He's a balloon you can't tie. Anyways, Dom, I'll set you up one more time. What's the total score? The winning score between the Pats and the Texans, and what's your hot take?
I say 28-24 Patriots.
Ooh, 28-24. That's a lot of scoring for a rookie quarterback.
It is, but man, every time the Patriots look like they're going to suffer statistically, they just don't.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
So instead of assuming negatively and being made a fool, I'm going to assume positively and probably still be made a fool because that's just my life.
Okay, so what's your statistical hot take from that?
I say I'll give Will Fuller another 100-yard game.
Okay.
And I think he gets
another touchdown?
I think he gets another touchdown. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
110 yards and a touchdown is what I get for Will Fuller.
My hot take is 150 all-purpose yards and a touchdown for Lamar Miller. Yours, John, is Jacoby Brissett throwing for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and at least 20 for 30 passing. And Dom says Will Fuller gets another 100-yard game with a touchdown. That's not too bad. I was hoping someone would say LeGarrette Blount would outrush Lamar Miller. So I'm gonna put that as kind of the other hot take. Blount v. Miller.
So while you're writing that down, I want to
better right now. LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah.
I want to address Mr. Patriot 12 here for a second.
Is he a Patriot fan?
No, his question is, how stupid will the Rams look if all 4 QB starters kill it and Goff is on the bench? The answer to that is he already looks the Rams already look stupid for him sitting on the bench. And if he sits even one more week after them beating the Seattle Seahawks, then I think maybe they're trying to tank their season.
Honestly, like, how does he not make the field? After week 1,
I don't know.
Okay, that's not working. And then week 2, even though it's against Seattle, we're still like, yep, nope, this right here, this isn't a good thing. And then it just keeps happening. It's like, those lemurs that jump off cliffs together. It's like watching that, except they're people, and you're just like, hey guys, that's a cliff. Yeah, yep. There's more dead people. Will you stop? There's a fence. Stop. Use the fence. And then they just don't. In this metaphor, Jared Goff is the fence.
Jared Goff is the fence.
Lemmings, not, what did I say? The other one?
Lemurs for some reason.
Lemurs? Those are monkeys. Meerkats, lemurs, and lemmings, all the same animal in my head.
Zaboomafoo is just jumping off.
Zaboomafoo. Kill yourself, Tom. Anyways, so make sure to come back for the recorded episode this weekend. It will be probably John and I. And we will break down all the fantasy things you need. Make sure if you have any fantasy questions to ask us. I was right about everything I said in fantasy last week, probably. There's no way of knowing that unless you go watch last week's fantasy episode. But I have a good track record. I'm 2-0 in my league, so you can take my fucking advice. And someone asked me who would be better. I think it was Sammy Watkins or Ryan Matthews. And this was on Puppy. Anyways, and I said Ryan Matthews is a better play, and holy shit, Jake was right. So, John had some hot takes too. So, coming for that next time. Also, Cooking with Jake this Sunday. Gonna be epic. I have no idea what I'm making yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. And then Dom, actually, I just got an email not too long ago. Dom started us a Reddit, I believe.
Yeah.
Or at least started us a Reddit account. We will have our own subreddit at some point down in there. And so when that happens, we'll be doing articles on there. Instead of a blog, we're just going to do it on Reddit so that we can kind of, have a collaborative thing. But we'll have short articles, some hot takes in there, maybe fantasy picks, stuff like that. It'll be a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. Other than that, I'm Jake. That's John and Dom. This has been RTP. I was waiting for the cough. Oh, damn it. I wanted to give him a cough. Anyways, have a good night.